Hello my friends, and welcome to Tom's Tinkering and Adventures. It's a late night edition out here. So I don't know if anyone else, well I'm sure, there's plenty of people who do the same sort of things that I do. You find something that seems to be wrong, but you keep just putting it off, hoping that maybe it's not wrong. Maybe it's not. Maybe if I just ignore it for a little while, it'll go away. Well, behind me is my lovely lady's vehicle here, and she's had a tire sensor light. Now these new vehicles, so this is kind of nice that they have that, but she's had a tire sensor light that keeps saying that she has a low tire. Well, it is, crazy winter here in San Diego, and there you go, the holidays are upon us. The neighbor's got his lights up. So we're getting a little bit lower temperatures than usual, so I was like, well, maybe the tires, the temperature change has just caused a little variation in the pressure. So I checked all the tires, and this driver's side rear one was lower than all the others. They were all a little bit on the low side, so I topped them all off. Well, the light came on again. All the tires were good. Driver's side rear was a little bit lower. And third time's the charm. She told me that that the light was on. I immediately went to this one, 10 psi lower than the other three. The other three were all still spot on. So we've got an issue with this driver's side rear tire. Some sort of a slow leak somewhere. So let's get this car up on jack stands, find out what's going on with that tire. We'll take it off, see if we can't figure out what's wrong with it and if we can fix it here at home. Because that's what we do here. We fix things. So hopefully I can get through this maze of stuff with my floor jack and we can get this thing jacked up. Okay, we got the tire off. Got it here in the limited space I have available in my shop here tonight. And the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to look at the tread here. And I'm going to start picking all these little rocks and stuff out, making sure that they are little rocks and not something else. And look for obvious issues. If we see any sort of cuts or nicks or bruises or anything on here. So it's going to take a few minutes. We're just going to go all the way around the tire, and I started right here at the valve stem so we know when we've gone all the way around. Going over this tire slowly. It's taken a while too, picking all these little stones out. But I found one, I can't focus for the crap here, one little questionable thing here, and then also another questionable item here. This looks like it might be a previous patch, and this looks like it may just be a tiny little nail. Now I have some soapy water. You can spray it on here. But the way this thing is leaking, I'm losing 10 psi over 2 days. So a very small leak might not barely even put up a bubble on that. So this one I'm going to have to maybe do a little bit of exploratory surgery to see. It could very well just be a very small piece of something jammed in there. Now that looks like it's more our problem. Focus. See how that's bubbling up on there? We definitely have a leak there. The air is coming through that. So this is either a previous patch on this tire. We didn't buy this car new. It was almost new. It had like 1,000 miles on it. 1,500, something like that. I don't remember patching a tire myself. Then again, I don't remember what I ate for dinner yesterday either. So this, I am guessing, is our problem. This, even though I suspected there was a little something there, it's probably nothing. I'll dig that out of there. But this is about 99.9% for sure our issue. So I'm going to clean this up a little bit and we'll see what we can do to fix it. There's a little tiny piece of glass right there. That's what that small one was. Just a little tiny piece of glass embedded in there. Now, for this one, there definitely has been a repair. Man, it doesn't like the lighting in here. I started digging around and I'm starting to pull out one of these string repairs. And I shouldn't be able to dig this thing out, but I am able to. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to remove the old plug. There's half of it. So I was able to get that piece out. If I can dig the rest of this out, I can re-plug this thing and we'll try that. At least we know where it is. It's almost directly across from the valve stem there. So knowing where it is at least a good thing. But that's part of that string plug right there. I'm going to try to get the rest of this out, and then I will get my tire plug kit and we'll plug this tire. Now I was not in the Boy Scouts, but my son was in the Boy Scouts and I was a Boy Scout leader. And they have a great motto. Boy Scout motto is be prepared. And I think that really can fit in every facet of your life. But for me, you know, I'm a type of guy who likes to take care of things myself and feel like I'm a little bit self-sufficient and fix my own stuff. So that being said, if you are anywhere like that or even want to feel like you can help take care of yourself, I suggest picking one of these up. Get yourself a tire repair kit like this. You don't have to buy this big a one. They have smaller ones, they have bigger, they have fancier ones, but with this you can patch a tire, and you can patch your tire right on your car, as a matter of fact, if you know how to use this. So hopefully I'll be able to set up and I can show you how to use one of these things. And they're not expensive. This kit was probably $10. Throw it in your trunk, under your seat of your car. If you get a flat out in the middle of nowhere, as long as you catch it before the tire goes completely flat, you can plug it on the car and just continue driving until you get to the air. Or you can do one better and also pick up a little 12-volt air compressor. So you patch it and pump up your tire. But I highly recommend having one of these in your car. It's just nice to have. It's a pretty nice tire plug I got there. Well, what I did so far is I've removed the old tire plug that was in there. Now, when I was talking about this tire patch kit earlier, obviously on the road you're not going to use it in the fashion that I'm using it right here, but let's say that this was your nail sticking out. Hopefully you'll also have some basic hand tools in your car. Let's say you have a pliers of some sort and you can pull the nail out. So this is our nail. All right, we're losing air, no big deal. We're in the garage, we have an air compressor. The first thing you want to do once you remove your whatever was causing your leak is use this part of the tire repair kit here. And this is like a little reamer, a rasp. And what you do is you put that in there, right where your hole was at. And just give it a little bit of the old in and out. Everything likes a little bit of the old in and out. What you're doing is you're prepping the hole for the plug, for the tire plug. Now these are called tire strings. Some people call them worms. There's different names. They're just tire plugs. They're kind of sticky. Aren't they kind of sticky here? If you have some older ones, they kind of lose that stickiness. So you want it to be sticky like that. Peel one off. Now this is the tool you use to install these, insertion tool. If you look closely at the end of it here, you can see that it has an open end. This is split open right there. Sometimes these can be a pain in the butt to get through here. You just kind of got to work it. Work it through there. And what you want to do is you want to work it almost exactly halfway through there. So it looks like that. Not quite half, but close enough, right? halfway. Now, like I said, if you're doing this on the car and you're able to save the air in it, that's great. That's why I left that in there, just to show you. You can ream it like that and leave that in. That'll save more air in the tire. Not an issue here in the garage, but on the road, especially if you don't have a compressor, you could get one of these in here if you catch it. You know, if you catch the nail in the tire before the tire goes completely flat. And after doing this once or twice, you're able to change this, install one of these plugs and only lose, you know, 10, 15 PSI, which you can still drive on. So what we're going to do now is we remove the reamer and we install this with the string on it. So it's going to be a little bit hard to install, but we just push that in there. Until you have just a little bit of the tail sticking out. And then what you do is you just pull this thing rapidly, pull this out. Just like that. There we go. Now what I like to do is, using my knife, which I usually have a pocket knife on me, we're in the garage, we're going to just use a utility knife. We just cut these tails off of here. You don't have to do this. You just leave them on and drive. They're just going to kind of wear off. And I've also seen people use rubber cement when they install these, which you can do. I honestly don't think that it does a lot as far as helping to seal it. This rubber cement comes in the kit here, but I'll almost guarantee this is hard as a rock in here, especially if it's been opened. Well, it's been opened. There's nothing in there. So I've heard that you can use this. It maybe kind of helps lubricate that to install it. Maybe it helps seal it a little bit. I never use it. All right, so what we're going to do now is turn on the air compressor, blow this up, and then we will see if we have bubbles coming out of there when we spray the soapy water on. All right, we got it inflated. Now cross your fingers, ladies and gentlemen. Definitely doesn't look like it's foaming up like it was before. I'm thinking we got it. But it is something we're going to have to keep an eye on, because since it was plugged once and it started to leak, definitely have to keep an eye on it. Now this is a repair that you can do yourself, but maybe not the best repair. If this thing starts to leak again, what I'm probably going to do is bring this tire in, have them pop it off, and put a plug from the inside out on here. Those are really the best ones to use. I have put these on tires and ran them for tens of thousands of miles. I don't know as if, you know, the manufacturers of the tires rate those things as a good repair or bad repair or otherwise, but they're used all over the world. I've brought them along on my motorcycles. They're definitely not recommended for motorcycle tires, but would you rather have a flat and be stuck somewhere, or would you rather put a plug in it and get somewhere where you can fix the tire properly? Yeah, I'm going with the second option. I'm going to plug it and keep on going, and probably 9 times out of 10, actually, I've ridden lots of miles on plugged motorcycle tires. Someone's not going to like to hear that, but that's all right. It's definitely not my first choice, but sometimes you just do what you have to do and make it work. And I think right here, we've made this work. It took me a little bit here to find it and to fix it, but now I don't have to hear from her. I don't have to hear from her about her light on her dash. She's got some more lights on the dash, but we'll get to that later. For now, we fixed this tire. I'm going to install it. I'm going to get over here where I get my beers and get a celebratory PBR. Actually, let's get one right now. What the hell? You all with me? I know one of my... There we go. Get a good one. There we have it. Cheers, my friends. Thank you very much for watching. Get out there and find your adventure. Adios.